all happening at Rosehill today. Christine Anu from Popstars, one of our judges, and a great performer in her own right, singing from her latest album.
Any closer, he would captivate my mind. I can hear these voices calling me, drawing me deep into my 45 degrees. If only I was given a way that would lead me back to the time that I could speak the words I wanted to. Don't know why I waited so long to hold on to what once was mine. Now it's lost in 45 degrees. Why do we wait to see the signs? If this is the end, will it be the last time? If only I was given a way that leads me back to the time that I could speak the words I wanted to you. I don't know why I waited so long to hold on to what once was mine. Now it's lost in 45 degrees. No, I don't know why I waited so long to hold on to what once was mine. Now it's lost in 45 degrees. Thank you.
Great performer, isn't she? You can see Christine with Molly Meldrum and the rest of the crew on Popstars tomorrow night. Lonhro's doing a farewell tour. Rosehill today, in a fortnight Randwick. 3 weeks ago it was Flemington. It was an unforgettable moment, a day where emotions spilled over for the Australian Cup.
The Jewel dropped out last. Physique the leader in the straight from Mummified. There's the gap coming for Lonhro. Sound Action tries to pocket him. Beatman in a bit of trouble trying to force through. He got checked, the champ, and Sound Action hit the front now from Mummified. Lonhro, the champion's in desperate trouble. Del Zayo's gone past him. 150 to go. He's got to the outside. Del Zayo in front. The crowd roaring, go Lonhro, go. But the 3-year-old's in front. Del Zayo. Lonhro, he's coming. He's going to get there. Yes, Lonhro won it. What a champion. What a way to go.
What about that? We have been waiting for the bright stage. We've been waiting for an epic performance from this horse, and he has produced it today. He has produced a performance for the ages today.
This is the most emotional ever. I just can't describe how emotional I am, but it's just marvellous.
I'd also like to thank Mr. Bob Ingham and his family, and the late Mr. Jack Ingham, who's, excuse me for that, I'm sure he's down there watching upon us today.
Grant Allard, who is the strapper. You talk about raw emotion. Well, let's go for a ride with Grant Allard.
He came from nowhere, Grant. He's a superstar, mate. They cannot call him not a champion. He was knocked down and knocked down. He kept coming away as a champion.
He looked gone up the straight when he got hit.
He's He's a champion, mate. He's a champion.
Best horse you've ever seen?
Oh, without a doubt, I don't care when anyone says a champ. Good on you, buddy.
He is a champion. Amen.
What a day, and he's back 3 weeks later, and they've got to go through it all over again. Well, he was about $1.50, Pat, the last time we went out there. Are they betting any better?
Money for Lonhro, just in fractionally, $1.45. It means that everything else is getting out. Private Steer, the only one under double figure odds, out about a point from opening. So it's Private Steer has basically maintained its spot there, but the money is for Lonhro at this point, but not huge money. I think everyone's here just to watch the champ go around, and look, I may as well join the crowd. They're all wearing them. Why not me?
It's your colour, Pat. It suits, no doubt. Now, here's Octagonal. He's an 11-year-old. I'm pretty sure I've done my maths right. An 11-year-old stallion. He won the BMW twice on this day, 10 Group 1s. He won the Triple Crown. He's coming into the mounting yard. Triple Crown is a 3-year-old. Darren Gauchi's going to ride him. He's the sire, the father of Lonhro and Niello, who's one of the favourites for the Derby next week.
Great memory for Octagonal for me, Bruce, is when he won the Cox Plate and he beat a horse called Mahogany. It was an outstanding performance. He was a 3-year-old Ken back then, and he was just enormous, wasn't he?
The chap asked me earlier in the day, would Octagonal recognise Lonhro? I said, look, if you had 100 kids every year, would you remember them all after a few years?
Let's see how he's got his... Now, Octagonal, when Darren Beekman rode him, he'd walk him around the barriers, Bruce, and even going around, he'd stop at the barriers, look back at the grandstand, he'd stop, prop, and look. Would you believe it? Lonhro does exactly the same thing, and it's tradition that Darren leaves Lonhro alone today, and he does that every time he races as the Gouch gets legged up on Octagonal here.
Darren's wired up, by the way. He's on Octagonal. We hope to be speaking to him very, very shortly.
Be a great moment for the Gouch, Simon, wouldn't it? To get on a stallion like this when you know he's been a champ.
Well, he's ridden Lonhro twice for 2 wins, Gouch, the Caulfield Guineas and the St George. Here is Lonhro. I mean, his record speaks for itself. 25 wins out of 33. He's won 14 straight weight for age races, except for that Cox Plate on a couple of occasions.
2 Cox Plates, yeah. He's a great horse. He proved when he beat Sunline in the Yalumba Stakes at Caulfield before his first Cox Plate, the sort of horse he is. He proved it in the Australian Cup. He's proved it to me many times, Bruce.
I reckon if Octagonal does have a look at him, he might think deja vu. He looks like he's looking in the mirror anyway, but have a look at this wonderful individual there, folks. He's an entire. He's going to go to stud for $66,000, Bruce, his service fee, and it'll just be a joy for everybody to watch him get to the front with 100 to go and stand and cheer.
Hope you're right. Now, Grand Ami was the talk of the town Doncaster Day last year. He won the Doncaster like a champion. He hasn't quite been able to go on. He's never missed a place in Sydney. He's only 2 really bad runs have been in Melbourne and the Caulfield Cup and the Newmarket. Can he lift today?
He likes Rose Hill too, Bruce, but look, he finished second to Yell here in a slowly run race, and it wasn't a bad run. There's only the 3 hopes, he, Private Steer and Lonhro.
Yeah, look, I like the horse, Kenny. He's a long type. Gay Waterhouse has been trying to work him out. He's starting to run into a bit of form, but look, he won't beat Lonhro.
Titanic Jack couldn't really get warm in the Australian Stakes. Fantastic in the Newmarket, won the Emirates. Weight for age, he hasn't run a place in 3 weight for age starts.
Yeah, he's a bit of a worry for me at the 15, first up in Sydney. He's a wonderful horse. He's big, he's strong. Tommy Hughes Jr.'s done a fantastic job to place this horse, but geez, you look at the depth today, I'm a worry.
Platinum Scissors is interesting. He's been a stayer, a sprinter and a miler now. He has been placed behind Lonhro at weight for age.
Yeah, the controversial horse of the Melbourne Spring 2 seasons ago. Gay Waterhouse thinks he may have erred in trying to make him a stayer, and I think that's a correct assumption after his win in the Newcastle Newmarket last start. But that race is a lot inferior to this one.
Here's the danger to Lonhro. Private Steer, second in the Coolmore with a big weight. Outstanding in the Apollo, is a weight for age winner. There was a concern about the track, but she's running.
Yeah, she's got a great turn of foot, this mare. She won the Apollo Stakes at weight for age by 4 lengths at Randwick, and then at her last start here, she gave Shamika 5 kilograms, started from an outside barrier, and only went down by about a long neck half length.
Keep the face interesting. He won the Schweppes Cup like a superstar. He was disappointing last start.
He's bred to be a champion, this horse, Bruce. We saw a glimpse of that at Caulfield 2 starts back where he could have broke the course record. He was eased down with 50 to go. On that occasion, he led, he dominated. He came up to Sydney under lights here last start and was very disappointing.
And Gentle Genius, the bottom one, was second in the Coolmore behind Sunline, 5th in the Doncaster last year with Lonhro 4th, but she is at really big odds. So there you have them for the Cathay Pacific George Ryder Stakes. Octagonal leading the field out. Darren Gauci on Octagonal. Darren, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Bruce.
Terrific. What a moment for you, Darren.
Well, it's nice to be back on the old boy. He's looking great, isn't he?
Now, I know you didn't ride Occy in a race, but you certainly have ridden Lonhro a lot in track work, and you've ridden him in 2 of his great wins, so it's a huge honour for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been great. He's been a great sire, and he's got father and son now today, and just hope the old boy Lonhro can win again.
How's the palms of the hands there? Any chance of just sneaking him out in the track and whacking him in a barrier? How does he feel? You reckon he'd be ready to run?
Well, mate, I was thinking about that, the way he looks. I was thinking maybe I'll do a lap. He feels all right. I might put him in a barrier, let him have a go. I might win a race on him yet.
How does he feel, Darren? I mean, being on his back, he's a special horse. I mean, he is 11, but how does he feel to you?
He feels well, he feels healthy. He's a bit jumpy, actually, a bit excited about the whole thing, but he's already had a look across at the opposition. He thought he must be racing.
Darren, the gentleman leading the horse around is Peter Flynn from Woodland Stud. He's got a great horseman leading him along, and I'm sure Peter's has his heart in his mouth with all these people around such a prized possession as Octagonal.
Well, they have, yeah. You know, he's... you know, certainly this horse is draws a crowd, and the crowd love him, and it's what it's all about. Now they've got Occy, and they'll see his son.
Hey, Gouch, just finally, have you ever had a reception going onto the track? Or you've had a few coming back, but onto the track like this?
Not like this, mate.
Unbelievable. Terrific, Gouch.
Thanks,
Enjoy the moment.
Thank you.
In the day.
Two champions together there, the Gouch and Octagonal.
Tell you what, the Sydney Turf Club have not done a thing wrong about this meeting, have they? I mean, this is just the added touch, isn't it?
Bruce, this was the idea of one of the committeemen, John Holloway, about 6 weeks ago. He put it to the committee, they loved it. He rang up Bob Ingham and he said, Bob, I know this is a big ask, I know he's a stallion. And Bob said, we'd love to bring him down without hesitation.
And there's the little O. So, little Lonhro. Can he do it again today? It's a big job, 2,000 back to 1,500. He has swept the board in Sydney. He's basically been unbeatable at weight for age in Sydney for a long, long time now.
Yeah, and you've got to say, laps these conditions up. The crowd, he's used to them now, Bruce. He's going for his 11th Group 1 here today. He's lovely and relaxed, and that's why he's been such a champion.
Simon, if you're looking for the ideal weight for age horse, he's a horse that'll settle and relax, and a horse that'll sprint quick.
And Darren Beedman said that's the difference between Lonhro and Octagonal. Octagonal was more of a street fighter. You had to ride him one way back, cool. Lonhro, he's very adaptable. You park him anywhere as you would if you're riding a Ferrari, Bruce.
It's one of those moments in racing. It's not too far away. We'll be back with it after this. At the barrier for the Cathay Pacific George Ryder Stakes, $400,000 Group 1, but extra special today with Lonhro's last start at Rose Hill. He's up against a good lineup. John Letts is out there. John, we just saw Octagonal gallop up the straight with O on his saddlecloth. What a moment in racing to see the big O lead out the little O.
Bruce, we had it a few weeks ago when we were down in Melbourne, didn't we? We had all the big ones getting, the big guns were firing, and they're firing again today. Lonhro looks magnificent. He is just such a lovely horse. He's a true professional. The horse that I did like the look of, boys, actually was Private Steer, one that we've overlooked a little bit, number 5, and to be ridden by Glenn Boss. And gee, she is very, very relaxed here with the clerk of the course. I think she'll run a very, very big race. But Lonhro sweating up a little bit, but gee, he's got a big weight to carry today with everyone here at Rose Hill on him, I think, and but he's up to the task. We've seen how good he is, and won't it be a fitting farewell for a great horse?
Yeah, we've all got our fingers crossed. Let's go out to Pat Welsh. Pat, he was into $1.45. Last time we spoke to you, is he shorter or is he about the same?
Hasn't moved from that quote. Very, very solid at $1.45 with me, Lonhro. And don't forget, Bruce, of course, this is the horse that there is a $2 million bet riding on with Sporting Bet in the Northern Territory. I understand the odds were around about the $1.85 mark, so those odds are looking very, very good. Private Steer has now just touched the each-way line. But look, Private Steer has been pretty solid given the weight of money for Lonhro and the weight of support for the champ this afternoon. The rest you can virtually write your own ticket about. Grand Army, there's just been a trickle of money for Grand Army late, but Lonhro, solid favourite at in the old money around 2-1 on.
Yes, that gentleman who had $1 million on him in the Australian Cup missed the odds that day, but he's got the odds today when he's got $2 million on.
Keep trying, you will succeed.
I wonder how much he has won on the horse, Bruce.
Well, he's just kept on backing him. Small field here, really top quality field. Can he do it again? I reckon the last time Wayne Wilson called Lonhro was McKinnon Stakes Day at Flemington. Wayne, he's all yours. Good call.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Yes, that's right. And it was a nail-biter that year when he just got home in the McKinnon Stakes. But this is just a wonderful scene here at Rosehill. The reception that Lonhro got and the reception that Octagonal got. I think everyone at Rosehill and everyone Australia-wide have just got a little Lonhro butterflies at the moment, hoping that he can do it. They're all in. They're set to go. Ready for the George Ryder. Titanic Jack on the inside. Racing. Off to a great start too. Platinum Scissors beat them out, goes to the lead. Grand Army began nicely. Gentle Genius is going forward on the outside, and Keep the Faith is kicking up along the rails. Then Titanic Jack. Beedman allowing Lonhro to find his feet. He's back second last. He's 6 lengths off the leader. He'll hope for speed. And last of all is Private Steer, and she's about 3 behind Lonhro. Keep the Faith is the leader. They're running along the back and going to the 900. Keep the Faith a half in front. Second, Gentle Genius. Titanic Jack third. Grand Army is fourth. A break of 2 then to Platinum Scissors, 2 to Lonhro, and 2 off last is Private Steer. On to the next bend. 850 metres to go. Keep the Faith 1 in front of Gentle Genius. Titanic Jack third. Grand Army fourth. 5 the rails is Platinum Scissors. Then Lonhro. Beedman hasn't done anything on him as yet. He's still 6 lengths off the leader. And Private Steer last of all. They're running up towards the home turn. 500 metres left to go. And Keep the Faith is the leader. Titanic Jack is getting up at the inside. Gentle Genius is coming wide, followed by Grand Army. He's sprinting quickly. Platinum Scissors and Lonhro down the outside. Then Private Steer. Grand Army in front. Here comes Lonhro. Lonhro's joining in, the big crowd roaring for him. Lonhro hits the lead. He's just in front of Grand Army. What a magnificent sight. Lonhro's accelerating away from them. The big black stallion charges to the line and wins by 2 lengths. Lonhro first, Grand Army second. Third was Private Steer, followed in by Titanic Jack, Platinum Scissors, Keep the Faith, and the last one over the line, Gentle Genius.
Terrific call, Wayne. It wrapped it up perfectly. What about Beedman when he looked around? You knew that he had Grand Army beaten, and that's a great side there with Private Steer. Bossy congratulating Beedman. Darren has a look around in a moment. He's got Grand Army. Grand Army's run a great race. We're talking about high-quality horses here. He's about to go past him. Private Steer's 4 lengths away. Darren knows he's home. And another famous victory for one of the most popular horses to have ever raced in this country.
Just when Darren started to look, when he was about a half neck behind Grand Army, I wondered if his run had sort of half-ended and whether Grand Army was going to kick. And just as I had that worry, I saw Darren look over his shoulder, and it was good night, nurse.
I'll put it to you in blatant terms at home, people. Grand Army was like Lex Luthor. Lonhro was like Superman at the top of the straight, and in one single bound he leapt the building, mate, and went whoosh and give him windburn. That was unbelievable to see him within a matter of 100 metres just go crack.
Let's watch it from the overhead shot.
It's a great shot, isn't it? I mean, Grand Army's 3 lengths in front at this stage. Lonhro's accelerating. Private Steer's out the back. Lonhro now goes up within about a half a length. Now Beedman has the look. Goes past, has got Grand Army beaten. Now Bob Ingham, who is the owner, look at Darren riding him home now. Bob Ingham, the owner of Lonhro, is with Peter Donegan. It's all yours, Pete. No, Pete, we've lost you for the moment. So Peter Donegan and Bob Ingham. So what we might do is go to Darren Beedman with John Letts. Let's see, it's one of the moments in racing.
Darren, this is one of the greatest thrills of your life today, was it?
Yeah, it's just the show just keeps rolling on, but last start was the one that he had to win, you know. But today, as Hawksy said before the race, he said the pressure was last race. He said just go out and enjoy it. He said just riding confident, have him where he's going well, and let him go.
Darren, referring to the horse, you look at Octagonal, you look at Lonhro and the yellow. It's like the royal family of the racetrack, isn't it?
It is. It's a real royal combination. She just Lockie and Today they just keep producing horses, and wouldn't it be great if it turns out probably one of the most successful bloodlines going around?
Well, I don't think we can even recollect, or in the future we can even predict that there's going to be a bloodline like this, because it hasn't finished yet.
No, they're lined up at Woodland Stud.
Darren, when you got to the lead, he felt really good today.
Oh, he just got there too easy. I wasn't going to try and ride him too cute. And brought him to the outside, and he's just got
coming back to the 15.
Untapped gears.
Yes, there's the crowd, Darren. Enjoy it. 2 champions, Darren Beadman and Lonhro, ladies and gentlemen.
So Darren to enjoy the cheers of the crowd. It is remarkable. Octagonal, Ken, to have Octagonal and Lonhro, I mean, the sire and the son. I know the brothers were Todman and Nohome when we talk about Golden Slippers of that. Niello coming along. I mean, it's stuff of legends, isn't it? The sort of stuff people will talk about in 50 years' time.
Oh, most certainly, Bruce. I remember when Eskimo Prince won the Golden Slipper and they said, son of Todman. Well, I think these two have outdone them.
They sure have. And such characters in their own right, aren't they? The crowd are overflowing here, just wanting to cheer this bloke home. Remember that 5 minutes ago they were cheering his dad onto the course.
Bruce, something special about the Cerise now, and like Jack and Bob Ingham poured so much money into racing. I know Johnny Hawkes said it in Melbourne after the Australian Cup, but I bet Big Jack's up there looking down, and a very proud founder of the Woodland Stud Empire, which is now, of course, run by his son, by his brother, Bob Ingham.
John Hawkes with Peter Donegan as we just soak up a little bit of this atmosphere with Darren Beadman in the crowd. So, Peter, another triumph for John Hawkes as Bob Ingham's about to lead Lonhro back.
John, by the look of him, he doesn't want to come back too quickly, the horse. He wants to soak up all the adulation. It's an emotional moment.
Yeah, it is, Pete. You know, his dad here and then his son, and then win a race like that, you know, and, you know, come back from the Australian Cup. So, you know, that's why he is what he is.
Do you get emotional when you see the public adulation?
A little bit, you know. It's sort of, I was always worse with Octagonal than what I was with Lonhro, but it's just great. It's great for racing. I mean, it's I'm lucky enough to be able to train him, but this is what makes racing what it's all about, mate.
We love the moment. Go and enjoy it yourself. Congratulations.
Thanks, Pete.
The thrill of the racetrack. That's what it's about, and that's what we're witnessing here today. It's just rolling on and getting better and better as each race comes towards the slipper. But, well, when we think of combinations, Beadman and Lonhro are pretty darn hard to beat. He's ridden him in 21 races for 16 wins and won 10 Group 1s on him himself, Darren. It's one of the great jockey racehorse combinations in history.
He's had 34 starts for 26 wins, and he's something very, very special.
You really feel sorry for Darren's wife, Kimmy, sometimes. You'd probably come over and talk about him more than the actual family. But the great thing about this horse going to stud too is his untapped ability. He's only got better with age. So all the mares that he's going to cover, the ability's still going to flow, Bruce, and that's a great thing.
I'm sure that's something Bob Ingham's looking forward to. The owner is with Pete Donegan.
Bob, we spoke after the Australian Cup, and it was emotional then, but we've got the big O, we've got the little O. What sort of a day is this for you?
It's been emotional all day, but it's just fabulous.
I watched you in the mounting yard when Octagonal came in.
Yeah.
You're like a proud dad.
Oh, well, he's a lovely horse. And we've got so much to thank him for.
What about when you walked down and Lonhro came back in and the crowd were chatting to you? What were they saying to you?
Oh, they were saying everything, you know, good on you, Bob, and good on you, chickens, and just, you know, and some of them call him Mr. Ingham, which very few people do.
Yeah.
No, just fabulous.
One more to go, Bob.
Fabulous to have people receive him like that. That's one of the great things of racing.
I think anyone who's been here today is going to remember it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for a great horse.
Thank the crowd very much for what they've done.
Good on you, Bob.
They've made a great day.
Bruce, that's one of the richest men in Australia, and it shows you that money can't buy those thrills. You know, money helps just get there, but you need the luck, and you need the build-up, and you need the preparation and the planning. And they've done all that, the Inghams. They started from scratch to build the biggest racing empire, and Bruce, they've done it.
They'll be back after this to get the trophy and the spoils. Owner Bob Ingham urging Lonhro home, as he's done all throughout his career, an Octagonal before him. And then Darren Beadman with the masses of crowd around him just wanting to touch him. Just a moment ago, Darren behind us actually gave his goggles to a young racing fan. And what a day for Beedman yet again, and for this outstanding horse who continues to grow in stature, if that is possible at this stage of his career. Correct weight is right. Lonhro first over Grand Army and Private Steer. They're all good horses. One's the champ and the other two are high quality. $1.30 and $1.20. $3.40 Grand Army, no third. Quinella $5.10. Trifecta $13.60. Exacta $7. Let's go out to the presentation with Gordon Bray.
Ladies and gentlemen, a sea of pink here at Rosehill, and Mr. Bob Ingham, when being interviewed here, said please thank the crowd for the wonderful way they responded to Lonhro as he came down to the winning post. What a fantastic performance. So ladies and gentlemen, now the victory presentation for the Cathay Pacific George Ryder Stakes. Would you please welcome STC Director Mr. Evan Sperling.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Lonhro, for the second year in a row, has won the Cathay Pacific George Ryder Stakes. Truly an amazing day where his dad led the son in a battle and he was victorious. I think it's a scenario and a scene for his last race at Rosehill we wanted. Lonhro his first race started Rosehill, and it's only fitting he goes out a winner of a Group 1 race. I understand he's only got one more race to go in, and we're just delighted he was successful here today. Ladies and gentlemen, today probably is the champion of champion races of all time. This is a race indeed of champions. It's named after one of our former chairmen who was the brainchild of the Golden Slipper, and certainly that's the world two-year-old champion race of all time. It's sponsored by Cathay Pacific, certainly the world champion airline. It's won by an absolute champion horse in Lonhro, side by a champion horse in Octagonal, trained by a champion in Hawks, and certainly ridden by a champion jockey in Darren Beedman, and owned, and last but not least, owned by one of the greatest champions of all time, Bob Ingham, and his family. And if that's not a story for a champion of champions, I've never seen one. It's with my pleasure I introduce the regional manager of the Southwest Pacific area of Cathay Pacific, Richard Cater, to present the trophies to the owners and the connections. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much indeed. I must say this is in fact the first time we've sponsored this race, and what a fantastic way to start. I think all of us here have been immensely privileged to actually see Lonhro in its, what I believe, penultimate race, and I think everybody here will take it home and remember the occasion for many years indeed to come. Cathay Pacific, by sheer coincidence, actually was founded in Hong Kong in 1946, the same year that the George Ryder Cup was first raced here. So we feel a natural affiliation, and indeed our founder was in fact an Australian, so another Aussie champ to join yet another Aussie champ. So thank you very much. I think it's my duty now, please, to ask Bob Ingham to come up, representing the owners. Bob, congratulations. Thank you, Richard. Well done. No, you better not drop this. I think it comes apart. Okay. Well done.
Thank you very much. Have a photo taken. Yeah, I'll say a few words. Just have a photo taken with you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.